Hello, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique, and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. I want to do that through consistency and discipline. Today is Thursday. It's Thursday, right? Yes, Thursday, May 2nd. And we're here to do a lot of things. And so it might feel a little rushed, and I might go a little quick. So bear with me, but I'm here to do a pretty basic monthly overview of my calendar. I need to plan for the next 2 weeks because I'm going back to a bi-weekly paycheck budget. So I need to plan for the next 2 weeks, or I've already planned. I'm going to go over that, and then we're going to do a quick cash stuffing as well. So a lot to cover. I don't know that I'll do it in 15 minutes, but I'm definitely trying to stay around that 20 to 25 minute time frame, so we shall see. I'd like to thank everybody who's liked or commented on any of my videos, and especially those that have chosen to subscribe to my channel. I truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, so I understand, recognize, and appreciate the community as a whole. So if you're rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't made up your mind yet, sit with me for a spell. And at the end of this video, if you find that this is content that you find valuable or enjoyable, please feel free to subscribe. So I was getting ready to do my pre-planning for my budget. As we talked about before, just 3 quick points. Number one, I am moving back to a bi-weekly paycheck budget plan instead of doing it every week, now that I feel like my unplanned expenses are back in control. Number two, I'm no longer going to receive any money from my firstborn, Kimberly. She was contributing $150 every paycheck for her to the household expenses, but she won't be doing that any longer, just because she's making adult moves at the end of the year, and I want to give her that time and that space and that money to be able to do that. And then number three, I'm currently dealing with a payroll deduction of somewhere between 25 and 30% on my check, and that's still in play for the month of May, but that will be going away in June. With all of that said, I needed to work out a monthly calendar for May. I've not had a chance to just create a video for it, but I've already done it. We're going to talk about it really quickly and see how everything lays out. Then we're going to do the budget with me for the paycheck that I will receive on tomorrow, Friday, May the 3rd. That's probably when you're watching this video, when I'm going to upload it. So we'll do that. And then I went ahead, got all the money together so that I can do a quick cash stuffing, because this starts my new week cycle. I run my weeks, as far as my variable expenses are concerned, I run them from a Friday to a Thursday. So tomorrow starts the new week. I already got that money together. We're going to go ahead and set my cash envelope and set aside my money for my mini challenges. Okay, so a lot to cover. So first, let's go in here on the calendar itself. So I get paid on May the 3rd. The last check that I received in April took care of all of the bills that were due on the 1st, and all of these have cleared. So my mortgage is done. Electric bill came out. Home insurance came out, and rent came out as well. You'll notice here I have Lawn Love. That is my lawn care company. They are scheduled to come today, but they won't take out the money until Monday. So because of that, although it's showing May 2nd when the service will be done, the money won't come out until the 6th. So I actually put that as a part of the budget for the May 3rd check, the check I'm going to receive tomorrow. Okay. Property insurance has already been covered for May. So I'm going to check that off. I will be saving up for June next. So this has already been done and taken care of. And I will mark that as complete. That one's done as well. Also, I have already sent the money for Xerxes, but it's included as a part of this May 3rd. So that was a little tricky how I did that. I kind of sent the money ahead of time because I know he was supposed to come here. Xerxes, my dog, was supposed to get groomed. I was supposed to get him back on Monday the 6th. He had a grooming appointment set for the 7th. Xerxes not ready to come back. We had a conversation. He's not ready to come back. So he's still with his dad. So I'm sending his dad money. So this morning I sent it today, which is the 2nd, but it won't transfer until tomorrow, the 3rd, which is when I get paid. So you will see this in the budget, but it's kind of already taken care of. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it off just because I've already set that transaction. So I know it's going to go through. All right. So all of those are already taken care of. One of the other things you might notice here is that for mortgage, normally I pay it at the end of the month for the next month. I get paid 3 times in May, the 3rd, the 17th, and the 31st. Sorry, 3rd, 17th, and 31st. So I'm going to split up my mortgage, and that's why you see it 3 times. I'm going to set aside $250 each paycheck period. And by the time I get to the 31st, I should have the full amount. That helps to stretch out that amount. I'm not heavy at the end of the month. And that allowed me to adjust things a little bit more so that I can meet the need. Okay. So I've laid out all of the other bills from there. What else? I'm going home twice to South Carolina. So we're going home for Mother's Day that weekend, and then we're going home Memorial Day weekend because my niece is graduating. So I am going to need to allot a little bit more money for gas, as well as for food, because you tend to eat while you're on the road. So I do have to cover all of those expenses. And then happy times. So last but definitely not least, I get married on May the 10th. Yes, that fast. So we are going to get married on the 10th, and he'll be moving, I think, items from South Carolina to Georgia on the 28th. So I'm not sure what that falls or what that might mean from a financial standpoint. We've just got to figure out. So that's just a quick overview of the monthly calendar. Usually I go into a lot more detail and we talk about all the things, but I am trying to combine this with multiple items in this one video. And so I am a little pressed for time. So I'm just covering some of the big items. So I wrote over here and I need to add that. So I have a vision board brunch on this Sunday. So that's going to be money. So I need to account for that. And then I don't have trash here. So I'm on a quarterly schedule for trash. And I think I usually, as soon as I get the bill, I tend to pay for it. So you'll notice over here, I have trash. It's usually as soon as I get the bill, I'm going to pay for it. But I have a lot going on in May. So I'm actually going to move trash. And I'm going to document that over here. I'm going to move trash to June and cover it there. So we won't have that on here as well. So that, I think, is most of what I needed to cover. Nope. One last thing. My niece, my namesake, is graduating. So I need a grad gift. I need to buy her something. Let me write that down too. This was good. This was a review. I have a lot of things that I need to make sure I cover. I think we're good. There you go. So those are the things that you will notice even on my budget with me that I'm about to do. Mortgage will be broken up into 3 pieces as we go through the month. And I'm going to have Xerxes on there, but I'm going to go ahead and mark that off because that money has already been paid. So I am going to show that as well. And I am moving trash to June. And I moved water down here. So usually water is on the 15th is when I pay it. You normally would have seen it as a part of this first check. But that was when I had the bank sending a check to them. Now I'm set up for auto draft and it's the 30th. So I've had to move water and adjust that down here going forward. And I think that is it. Okay. All right. So that is the review of the monthly calendar. Next, we will bring out, let's put this marker up so I don't end up trying to mark, oops, sorry, shaking the camera so I don't end up marking up. Come out a little bit. Alrighty, let's get to the budget. All right, and I've already written in all of the numbers because I wanted to make things a little bit easier or have it go through a little bit faster. So As far as income is concerned, I expect to have $11.75 in the bills account on Friday. Variable account, I'll be depositing or have $500 in there. So that's covering 2 weeks. I give myself $250 every week. I'm going to budget in here because I'm going back to a biweekly schedule. I'm going to budget the full amount, but in cash, I only pulled 1 week. So although you'll see higher numbers on this actual spreadsheet or this actual sheet, you'll see lower numbers when I actually pull the cash that you'll see there. Okay. And then I got an extra $30 that's coming into that account because I did get a raise, and that's pretty much what it added up to. And I just had it going to that variable account. I pulled it out separately because that's what helps to fuel my savings challenges and the money that I'm able to save in sinking funds. My son is going to give me $40 for his cell phone. And then from the last budget, I did a budget closeout, and this is the video right before this one. And you'll see I was under budget by $55, and that's my rollover that you see here as well. I did have about $130 saved from my variable expenses, but all of that went into a variable expense buffer binder that I started this past week. All right. So that total is $1,800. That's what I'm working with. Here are all of the items that you probably saw on the calendar: Paramount, Verizon, the lawn care. I'm guessing $70. So they usually charge $65 to actually cut, and then taxes and fees. I'm bumping it up and putting in an extra $5 for that. It might be a little bit more. We'll see. And then that will be the amount going forward. For Xerxes, it wasn't 60. I sent 50. So let me change that. So this number is going to come down by $10. iCloud, AT&T, and Apple Care are all a part of that bills section. So let me show you guys, and I've done this before, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. Yeah. Bills account is where that $11.75, I will show you in color how you can tell which fees or amounts or the monies are coming out of that account. Variable account, you will see in yellow. And then savings and sinking funds, you'll see in pink. All right, there you go. I just want to make sure I have those colors. So all of these total up to, it should be $404. Remember, I just took $10 off of Xerxes because it wasn't $60. It was actually $50. So this should be $404 total. And that is coming out of, hey, it's not where I wanted to be. That's bill. Okay. Next, mini challenges. So my mini challenge, I'm giving $100, $50 every week, and I do the Monday mini savings challenge. That's how I am fueling any of my binders. So you will not see a lot of additional savings here. You won't see high priority, low priority, family binder, etc. to try and save in. Everything is going to be just treated out of what I'm able to save in the Monday mini, at least for the month of May. And then June, I probably will have more disposable income available because my check will be right again. So we just have to wait for that. So we're writing it out in May and hoping for great things in June. I am going to contribute to the 2024 challenge for April. I want to finish that off. I had another $25 to finish that one. I want to finish that one. As far as that monthly savings challenge is concerned, I am no longer I'm not going to do May. I'm not going to do May. I'm going to pick it back up again in June. So I want to finish off April. You won't see that challenge for May, and then we'll start to see it again the month after. And this is just a note to myself on what I need to pull. So I'm only going to pull $50 this week, and that's all you'll see in the cash that we're going to allocate today. You'll see 50. I'm leaving the other 50 in the bank. I'll pull it out next weekend so that it'll be available for that next Monday mini before I get paid again. So that total is $125, and that money is out of the pink. So which color was that? Could have sworn I had a color on here that was pink, but I don't see it anymore. Well, we'll just go with that one. All right, there you go. So it's the 125. Next is variable expenses. So the variable expenses breaks out into gas, groceries, home. Corinne's money breaks out as well. And then, because some of that I give her in Cash App and some of it I keep cash for. Monique gets some money and dining out gets some money. These are times 2, like I mentioned before. So the total is 500, but I'm going to stuff 200 out of that. I'm going to leave 50 in the bank. And then this is how it breaks out. So let's talk about this part for a minute. I'm going to slow down for a second and just talk about this part. So I give myself $40 a week for gas, $120 a week for groceries, $30 a week for home, $10 in cash for Corinne a week, $10 on Cash App every week for Corinne, $20 in cash for myself, $20 in cash for dining out every week. If you add those numbers together, that's 40, 120, 30, 10, 10, 20, and 20 equals $250. Okay, so normally that's how much I would pull out every week in cash to stuff. I use Upside. So since I use Upside for gas, I leave the gas money in the bank so that I can swipe my card for the gas and get the reward points. Since I give myself $40 a week, I'm going to say minus 40 on that equals $210 now that I should have in cash, because 40 of it is going to be in the bank. Next is Corinne. Just like I mentioned, $10 I keep in cash for her, but $10 I give her in Cash App. That means, again, that's an online transaction. So I take off that 10 because I need to leave that in the bank, and then boom, $200. So that's the note that you see here. I'm going to stuff $200 in cash. I'm leaving 50 in the bank. 40 of that is for gas so that I can swipe my card and get my points. $10 of it is for Corinne so that I can transfer it to her Cash App account. So that's how we came up with the $500 that I'm allocating, and that's how we came up with the $200 in cash that I'm actually going to stuff. Next is my debt. So for debt, I have Nelnet, Ally Credit Card, Discover, and then as I mentioned before, I'm only paying $250 for my mortgage, and I'm setting that aside. So on tomorrow, I'll transfer that money from my actual bills account to my bills buffer account for it to sit there until I'm ready to pay this at the end of this month for June. That totals up to $462. So when you look at the total amount, my income was $1,800. My bills were $404. My total expenses was $500. My total savings was $125, and my total debt is $462. And let's do some math. Let's see what my math is mathing. 800 minus 404 minus 500 minus 125 minus 462 equals $309. So it's saying that I am under by 309. I'm going to do that one more time just for my sanity. So you guys bear with me. So it was 1800 minus 404 minus 500 minus 125 minus 462 equals $309. And then to show you where that money came from, this variable expense is what you would have seen in yellow, and the debt is what you would have seen in blue. So zoom out a little bit from here. Hopefully you can see that. Bills account was $1,175. That accounted for the 404 that went in the bill section, and the 462 that was in the debt section. 500 variable account was the $500. And that's what you see here in the expense section. And then the pink, the extra 30 that goes into variable account for the raise that I got, the 40 that my son is giving me, and the rollover extra for that 55 that I brought over from last week. If you add that together, 30 plus 40 plus 55, that equals $125. And that's what I have set aside here for savings. So that's how I break out my money to know where all these bills or these expenses, where I'm pulling that money from. So in cash today, based on the notes that I had, I needed to have $200 for my variable expense, and I'm going to stuff that in my wallet. And then I needed 50 of the mini challenge 100 that I have, 50 of that, and then the 25 for the April challenge. So that's what we are going to work through today. So that's 200 plus 50 plus 25 equals, if I've done this right, I messed up the last time, but if we did this right, that's $275. And yes, I worked out cash envelopes and how the money needed to look and how I needed to pull it. All right, so I have this. I'm going to set this over to the side, and I'm going to pull the cash out so that we can talk about it. So you might say, well, Monique, if you're not getting paid until today, how did you already have this money? Because you're making this video on Thursday. Well, I'm glad you asked. So I was looking at a YouTuber, and I can't remember who it was. It might be the Simple Budget. I just cannot remember. But somebody said instead of trying to rush and get to the bank to make the video and handle everything, what they do is they pull that money from cash envelopes or wallets that they already have. And then when they get paid, they just put the money back. And so that's what I decided to do. So this money, let me move this over. This money is from my wallets. I've already tracked where this money came from, and then I'm going to put it back. I'm not gonna make it to the bank until like Saturday, maybe Sunday, just because of all the things that we have to do. So I pulled it from the envelopes that I have currently. I'll go to the bank on Saturday or Sunday, and I'll put that money back into my envelopes at that time. So that's where this money came from. That might not make sense to everybody, but I thought it was a great idea. And so that's what I decided to do. All right. Let's see where we are as far as the cash is concerned. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 82. $200 in 20s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. $45 in 5s, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30. $30 in 1s, and that's $275. All right. And all of these bills are not turned exactly right, but we'll try and fix that a little bit later. All right. So first, we're going to stuff my wallet. All right. Let's see where we have our denominations, and let's get that set. All right. If you watched my previous video, then you know I have $20 still saved in here for dining out, and that's because I knew we were going to eat out today. Remember, today's Thursday, although you're seeing this video on Friday. I also had $10 in cash for Corinne, but she went out with some friends. She wanted that $10 because they were going to Chipotle or somewhere to get something to eat. So that money is already spent. That's why you don't see that piece in here. Okay, let's start with groceries first. Groceries is getting $120. 20, 40, 60, 81, 120. Okay. Household is getting 30, 20, 30. My personal is getting, hold on, Monique gets a $20 bill. That's 20. Dining out has 20, but we're spending that. And then it gets another 20 for the week. Okay, and miscellaneous, Corinne's $10. It's 2 5s. There you go. All right, so that is it for my cash wallet stuffing. Get that added in here. This should be much better than it was last week. All right, that's done. The 2024 April Savings Challenge is in my family binder. I wanted to finish that April challenge off because that money is going to Corinne for her Carnegie Hall trip, and I owed $25. So 20 and 5 was the last for this April challenge. Let's take a look. April challenge to save 90, and this 25, we should now have that $90. Let's see. That's 20, 40, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. $90. I will color this in later. I'm going to take this envelope out. You can remove this one from the family binder. Sit that up top there. And then let's add this to Corinne. All right, and today I'm just going to say 5-2, save from challenge. We saved, what was that, $90? So 135 plus 90 equals $225 is what we should have. Okay, and let's see if that's where we are. She has 20 in the bank. All right, 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 2, 10, 25, 225. There you go. Great. So that one is done. We won't be doing those monthly challenges for the month of May. That's why I went ahead and removed that envelope from there. And then what's remaining should be $50 for our mini savings challenge. So I know I have an envelope. Let me get that out of this. I have that sitting over there. All right. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 30, 2, 4, 6, 8, 40, 2, 4, 6, 8, 50. So this is the $50 that I'm going to use for the Monday mini savings challenge. All right, stick this in here, and now we are all set for that come Monday. And that is it. Super long video. I had a lot to cover. I didn't want to make smaller videos. It didn't make sense because then they're only 9 minutes, 10 minutes. Let's just go ahead and do the whole shebang right now. So that is what we did. All right, we are good. Thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.